Hello everyone, this is DavidViadel23 and welcome to the Manga Cave. Today we are gonna be talking about One Piece live action. I realized that half of my channel is One Piece, but we haven't talked yet about the live action. The live action is, as you may know, an adaptation of the manga or the anime. Okay, you can take both examples, represented with people. So Netflix with this is able to reach more audience, and maybe because of this someone likes the story so much that they are gonna start the manga, start the anime, and start the fan experience with One Piece. For this I wanna just probably talk a little bit about the series. I am rewatching it at the moment. I'm halfway through, so I just want to draw a couple of the guys, a couple of the main guys maybe, and not as a full character. Maybe we do some tags, let's say some small faces, for example. It can be interesting. I want to do, let's draw here, for example, this size. I think it should be good. Something like this should be good. I want to do Luffy, that the actor is Iñaki. So Iñaki is a character that is playing the role of Luffy in a very interesting way. Obviously, because this is a person playing a fictional character, we have this representation and his own take, basically. All the characters have their own take in the story, and as a fan of so many years, I have to say I'm happy with the result. I watched the series already multiple times, I think like 3-4 times already, and this is gonna be like one more. And I'm happy. It is not exactly like the manga, it is not exactly like the anime either, but what they are doing is some sort of play. So they are taking things from the manga, they are taking things from the anime, and they are taking things from the color spreads, from the extra information, from the SBSs that we have, and you see this through the whole story. If you are lucky that you know One Piece from before the live action, like me, and you have read all of it, you have watched all of it, and now you are watching this through new eyes, that is, this is the live action representation, it's kind of looking through the same story through new eyes, you will understand what I mean when I say this extra bit, because I think it's very interesting. Let's draw some caricature here. Okay, I wanna do the guys like caricature. It's gonna be a little bit mix between what we are normally used to see in One Piece and a little bit of caricature that I'm gonna be exploring here. Okay, we have the hat. The straw hat is smaller than I expected. At the beginning it shook me a little bit, because I was saying I don't think that is fitting how it should, especially in Shanks' head. I could see the the hat being too small for him, but I guess that's made like this because they wanted Luffy, that it's a kid, to have the sense of a proper hat when he's wearing it. That's why they went for this option. But I would have liked more a hat from the beginning of the manga that Shanks has. The hat is quite large, more like typical. The straw hat, you know, it's normally used, or it was normally used, working in the fields or on the rice fields to cover yourself from the sun and protect a little bit. And being from that material is not that hot, it's not accumulating the heat so bad. So this is something that I was expecting a little bit bigger, but as I go into the series more and more, it's kind of okay. Your mind is kind of understanding it, that it needs to be like that. He has as well kind of this strip here on the neck that is holding. When he's fighting, for example, he will pull the string, and those are details that when you are drawing, or when you are drawing a fantasy story, you don't need to do. The hat can fly, can stay, can be however you want, but in reality, if you're gonna be doing all those fights, all those movements, and all these stretching and everything, the hat needs to stay there in place somehow, okay? So I understand there may be changes. As I was saying, they are taking ideas from the color spreads and from the color walks as well, and this you can see with the outfits. One Piece as shonen originally has a lot of repetitive outfits. Like you will see them all dressing the same for the full saga or for multiple sagas, especially at the beginning, and then when we go into the new world and we are more fashion and everything, Oda makes them wear different outfits for different sagas, okay? But here, in these episodes, we see them changing clothes all the time, and these clothes are not random clothes. If you have seen those images from the color spreads and the SBSs, you will see that, for example, Nami's clothing is specifically from specific drawings that Oda has drawn in the past for these books, okay? Okay, let's do... Obviously, this is gonna be a little bit cartoon as well, It's not gonna be full on... He's not gonna be looking like One Piece. He's not gonna be looking like Iñaki himself. He's gonna be looking caricature, like trying to do like a mix of both of them. Okay, so he has a little bit of curly hair. We see Iñaki. I think he's Mexican. Oda. Some time ago, when he was explaining in one of the SBSs, sometimes the SBS is a corner at the end of each volume that people ask random questions. Some of them are very random, some of them are more specific. Like, for example, if Luffy were real, or if Zoro were real, from where would they be? And in one of those messages, Oda said that probably Luffy will be Brazilian, Mexican, from Latin America, and they took that in consideration, and I think they were kind of checking for some of the characters ideas like this. Like, for example, Zoro will be from Japan, okay, so they picked Makenyu to be a Japanese actor that on top of that he's skilled with the swords and everything, and with epic fantasy series already on screen, and they took things that for Oda were notes to make it real here in the story. As well, I have to say that there are other things that maybe they are a little bit too realistic for me. For example, the design of the Merry, the head of the Merry, it's a little bit too weird looking. I know that they couldn't have done it more caricaturesque or more simplistic like we have the Merry originally in the manga, because what happens there is that then you go into the realm of fantasy and you feel confused as an audience. You are watching the series and you will say, oh, wait a minute, why is this so realistic and that is so cartoony? So they needed to find like a middle ground, and some of these things are gonna be weird looking, but if you are a fan of One Piece for years, like me, and you haven't watched the One Piece live action yet, or you are planning to, but you're a little bit reluctant, watch it. Watch it, but with open eyes, okay, with open mind. This is not gonna be a loyal representation of the story. This is gonna be an interpretation of the story, and the actors are gonna bring their own details. The directors are gonna bring their own details as well, the showrunners as well, and understand that all of this is supervised by Oda, and that is good, because Oda can say yes or no. There are some information as well that is confirmed here in the story, that it helps us to expand the world of One Piece in a way that we, as a fan, we don't know yet. We have seen many things happening in One Piece, especially lately, okay? And I love from One Piece the thick lore that it has, and how you can find a lot of information from all the characters. But for example, when we are drawing when we are talking about, I wanted to talk about this while drawing Mackenyu, but when we are meeting Zoro at the beginning, for example, what happens is that Zoro is fighting a guy, a mysterious guy, called Mr. Seven, and Mr. Seven is offering him an invitation to join his organization. Mr. Seven shows us a card with a symbol, with the flag of Baroque Works. We know this is Crocodile's organization because we are coming from the manga, we are coming from the anime, but a normal viewer and someone in the audience on the other side of the screen that never watched One Piece, it may be thinking, oh, what is this? What happens there is that very quick, Zoro defeats this guy. He doesn't want to accept, obviously, and he defeats this guy. This is in the first episode, and he cuts him in two. Like in One Piece manga, as being a shonen, you do not have normally killings, or you don't have romantic love or sex scene, a thing like this. You have everything more toned down. If there is something at that caliber, like someone is gonna die, it is because it is very relevant for the story. It's not gonna be just a random thing. But here in the anime, here in the live action, I appreciate that they've done it in this way because it gives a little bit this kind of a spin that it is for, you know, let's say teenager, adult, and by putting this scene as well, you can capture the audience in a way that maybe some older people may be more interested as well because there is more fighting, for example, than in a cartoon series that they will say, oh no, this is cartoon, I am not gonna like it. But then when they watch it like this and it's like, oh, actually, this could be any kind of pirate movie or any kind of fantasy pirate movie and everything, like Pirates of the Caribbean, and it makes it very interesting. I think it's a good move. We know in the story, in the original story, in the manga, there is this moment when we are being introduced to Crocodile and the numbers and everything and the organization, that Zoro is kind of thinking, oh, I think I know these guys from somewhere, blah blah blah, and it is confirmed that Mr. Seven in the past, in the original story, in the past, approached Zoro to ask him to join, and he denied. He said he didn't want to. He kind of said no. If he was gonna join, this happens in Whiskey Peak. If he was gonna join, this will be because he will be the boss, okay, not a number whatever, like this other guy, not a follower basically. And I like how it's being expanded here, how it's being touched. We are sailing as well. In the map we see as well the Okiot Islands, and this is as well the area in the map that Nami is found, and Nami is talking as well in the story later on. And those are names that Oda has dropped every now and then, but they are not shown in the manga. So if you are just a normal person reading the manga and that's it, without looking into all the details, like for example me, that I'm trying to find all the lore and all the clues and everything and find why this is happening and how is this happening. If you are not watching the story like me, for example, you're gonna make the hat a little bit bigger, I think. Then you may not realize about these details, okay? Let's do like this, and then like this. I don't know how many of them I'm gonna do, okay? So I just want to basically do at least a few. And like this, you see, very cartoony. We don't need to go too much into the thing. And probably I'm gonna go faster. I done already Luffy here. Maybe I do Nami. I do Nami, and all of them are gonna be, as I said, very cartoony. Nami is gonna go here. Nami as well has a very interesting design. As you can see, I'm not talking about the story in general because we already know the story. The story is good, the story is an adaptation, the story is nice. I'm talking about things that I find interesting, things that I notice that they coming from another story, from another detail in One Piece, like an extra book. and things like this. And let's do the hair like this. Like this. I like Emily Roth, that is the actress for this role, and I like how she is, since day one, fighting with the extendable stick, moving around, being sneaky, being a thief. This is Nami's core, that at the beginning it was quite remarked because her story with Arlong, and she had to be a thief to be able to buy her town from Arlong and save her people, and this is something that we have lost in One Piece now at the moment. At the moment, Nami has become a little bit more like a princess that needs to be saved most of the time, and I miss. Maybe some of you agree, maybe some of you disagree, but I miss a fighter Nami like we are seeing in the live action. Nami is someone who has no problem, in theory, since the very beginning, has no problem in going into a fight to steal your treasure. Nami would be doing the pirate normal thing to do. Like as you can see in Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean is caricaturized as well, but is represented with Usopp here as well. You can fight to escape, or you can put a trap to conceal some people there or hide something there and then be able to go to another way, like the pirate way. The pirates weren't people that will fight straight away all the time, okay? You will have, yes, pirates that they will go and board the other ship and fight hand to hand and, with the swords and everything, but in theory, there was a lot of trickery, a lot of planning, a lot of plotting, and a lot of betrayal in the world of piracy in general, okay, in general. These eyes are gonna be a little bit more tiny, and I think I need to make her with the eyes maybe like this. And we will see when we are there with the whole lines. I don't want to do, as I said, I don't want to do all of them perfect, but we are going to do Nami's outfit at the beginning as well, that we see her with this tie that is striped with orange colors, with brown colors, orange colors. This is as well from a older design of Nami that before One Piece started. There is this, I think it's in the Wanted story, or in the color spread, I think is the blue one, the East Blue to Skypiea volume. There is this image of an old design of Nami wielding a massive axe and having this kind of some sort of orthopedic piece on the shoulder or on the arm, plus this tied like a striped in orange. Very nice. You see, these are the details. These are the details I said at the beginning. I like to see in the world of One Piece live action, because it gives the story life, it gives the story context, and it gives the impression to someone who is new that this story is bigger than you think. There are more islands, there are more characters, there are more backgrounds there that you may not expect. Feel free as well, please, to share your opinion here in the story and here in the comment section at the bottom, and let's open conversation. Explain me how you felt as well by watching the live action, even if you are a seasoned One Piece fan or if you are a new One Piece fan, please, because it's interesting for me to see different experiences for different people, Let's do the hair like this, okay, and then this is gonna be blue. I am not gonna draw them all as I said before, okay, because I may do 2 rounds. I haven't finished, I'm kind of halfway through the rewatch now, and I may do only some of them, and then in another one I do the rest of them, okay. Let's do like this. As well, I have to say, the beginning of the story is quite interesting in the sense of In the manga, we start one way. In the anime, we start one way. Here, they are taking the idea from the anime. In the anime, Luffy is already at sea, and you can see how the storm. Well, there's a whirlpool originally that Luffy is gonna be swallowed in this whirlpool. So he goes into the barrel and ends up being fished out of the sea by some of the Alvida guys. Okay, and that is when we met. When we meet Kobe there. I like how this Kobe story is going. I like the actor that is playing Kobe as well, how the representation is done. I like how in One Piece live action you are gonna see a continuity with Kobe and Helmeppo as well. In the beginning of the story, a very massive difference, very massive difference that you will see with the story is that Kobe does his bit at the beginning of the manga, at the beginning of the anime, and then he disappears. You don't see him until much later. And if you are a manga reader, you will remember that there is a mini story with Kobe and Helmeppo where those two end up with Garp. They escape from Morgan, that Morgan kidnapped Helmeppo to be able to escape, so Morgan is on the loose in the manga, original manga. Here they kind of punish him in the live action, and those two guys end up with Garp. Garp starts chasing Luffy in the live action. In the original story, Garp will start doing things much later when we are around Water 7 and all of these things. You are gonna start seeing them, but it's nice because we have like another take in the story. I don't want to have everything. I don't want to have everything already given to me in the sense of I will not expect anything new. I want, if they are doing this, I want them to give me something that I don't have yet. I want to become a fan of the live action as well. I want to become a fan of the actors as well. Luffy is more theatrical, I would say, in the live action. In the manga or the anime, he feels more kind of wild. Here he is more theatrical in terms of becoming comical and sometimes more serious as well. He has like speeches in the live action, like, oh, we are a crew, we're gonna be doing this, we're gonna be doing that. And Luffy is more carefree in the story, in the original story, and it's another take that is different from the original one. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's interesting to see the difference and how they decided to portray these aspects. Okay, so let's do. I think we're gonna do Zoro. We're gonna do Zoro, McKenyu here, and as well I'm gonna draw him a little bit more cartoony, as I said before. Like this, he's upset. He's always upset. At the beginning as well, he used to laugh a lot and was laughing all the time with Luffy. And since Shabondi happened, since the separation happened in the original story, Zoro has become a very strict person, a very serious person. I think we only see him laughing in, let's say, a couple of occasions. One of those when he's in Wano already waiting for Luffy, and Luffy shows up by surprise and he gets very smiley, very happy. But you don't see that anymore in Zoro, and I understand the seriousness of the situation, and Zoro being the first one saying to Luffy in places like Pond Hazard that this is not we are in the new world, this is already like end game basically, and I love it. And yeah, I wanna see it's gonna be serious like this. I don't see it forced either. Like I can understand that the scenarios, the environments and everything, and themselves as characters, because it's a representation from a drawing, okay, from a story that is drawn on paper and then drawn on animation. in 2D. I understand and I see that everything looks more like when you go to an amusement park, that everything, like you see the mountains on the sides, you see the attractions and everything is very fake, but it makes you be in that moment. Okay, if maybe you are in an area that is Egypt, no, in this amusement park, and even if you see that it's fake, it makes you be embraced by the environment, and it puts you there. Like it's kind of maybe taking a step forward from this is environment design basically, and to create the lore and the story and everything. It makes you kind of going inside the town or inside the area, but making sure that this is gonna be fantasy. This is gonna be fantastic. Fantastic things are gonna happen here. Nothing is gonna be real. I have enjoyed it. The previous times I have read it, I am enjoying it now as well, and yeah, I just wanted to do like a video, talk a little bit about it, and as well share my opinion about the story. I wanna know your opinion as well, okay? So as I said before, feel free to put some messages there in the comment section, and let's talk about it. Let's do this. Obviously, again, like with Nami, when we are in the line work stage, we will define this. As I said, Zoro is introduced killing someone. He's introduced as a pirate hunter, that's what he is. We haven't seen that trajectory of Zoro much in the story. I would have loved to see some adventures from him before, with Yosaku and Johnny, for example, as well. But here we see that he is ruthless. Basically, there is nothing that is gonna stop him. A little bit of the flashback in episode 3 is, introducing Kuina, introducing their younger selves, okay, and when they do the promise about becoming the best swordsman or swordswoman, as Kuina says, at the end of their stories, and it is beautiful. I didn't like much how they handled the handing of the sword, the Wado Ichimonji. I wanna do, probably next week or in the following weeks, I wanna do a video about Kuina, okay? What happens with Kuina, how that happened in my opinion, and the handing of the Wado Ichimonji. The handing of the Wado Ichimonji here, Kuina dies, like we already know, and then in this ceremony where Gojiro is saying to the rest of the students there, hey, this is the ceremony, Kuina died, we have the sword there as a representation of her spirit and everything, and then young Zoro just goes there, takes the sword, and yes, being sad and everything, but takes the sword and says to the father, oh, we made this promise, please give me the sword, like allow me to take the sword. And then Gojiro says, yeah, like why not? I didn't like that much. I would have preferred more to see something like in the manga or in the anime, where we have Zoro begging and Zoro crying his guts out, like on the floor, a lot of crying, a lot of frustration, frustration is the word there, and Gojiro seeing how important Kuina was for Zoro. He knew already, but obviously he's following the evolution of other students, not only his own daughter and Zoro. So to see that, it would have impacted me more in the live action if I see the kid on the floor begging, and then there is some sort of give or take, like maybe Gojiro is gonna go there with the sword, he's gonna say, I'm gonna suggest that you keep the sword, or I'm gonna give you the sword as a token of thingy to fulfill your promise, in a different way, because here is more like Zoro just took it. Gojiro could have perfectly set in that scene, Yeah, I don't see you that you are that sad actually to give the sword to you. And this is a token of my or remembrance token of my daughter. And this is not a critique against the actor, the kid actor. This is a critique against, towards the director in this specific moment, and on the showrunners, the ones that they planned the idea, or even the writers that they planned the idea. I am a little bit scared in things like this, because there are moments like this that I had the patience to watch several times and see how I feel. Okay, see how I feel. Let's do. Zoro has the hair as well here, a little bit like this. They change a little bit the style, that is nice as well, but like this. And obviously we will do some passes with basic colors. I don't think I'm gonna do more characters for now. We can do maybe 2 or 3 rounds more of characters in the same page, maybe, if you want. I can do another one here, another one here. We're still missing Usopp, Sanji. Now I'm restarting the Usopp saga as well, with Kuro, Captain Kuro, and Kaya and everything. And I didn't want to talk much about that here in this video, because I want to give it time, okay? I want to give it time. I want to have it fresh as well in my mind, and talk a little bit about everything. I don't want to do maybe just one video and that's it for this specific one. There are going to be other series that I could talk, or other books that I could talk, that I'm going to put example here, that I do one video and that's it, because I think I can cover everything in one video. But with this story, that I like it so much, maybe I do every now and then one, at least to cover the main characters, the main crew, and the main guys, maybe like Kobe, Helmepo, Buggy as well, Arlong, Mihawk, Garp, Shanks, a couple of those around, okay? It can even be in different sizes. I could do maybe the three main guys plus Usopp and Sanji, the other 2 main guys that will come later in the second part of the season, and maybe around I can do in smaller phases the rest of the guys. It could work as well. I would like it as well like that. So like this is gonna be like this, and yeah. Season 2 is on the making as well. I can't wait to watch it. It is gonna be with One Piece Season 1. We arrive until more or less the lockdown, where we are gonna, from there we are gonna go to the red line to cross. So we stop there. We don't cross in Season 1. So I think what we need to see in Season 2 is, probably they will have like 7, 8 or even 10 episodes. Probably we're gonna see the crossing and the encounter with Laboon and with Crocus. That needs to be 1 or half. They could stretch this into Whiskey Peak to introduction of Crocodile's people, like we have Igaram, Bibi and all these guys. You have Bibi that we meet with Laboon at the beginning of the Grand Line. All these things needs to be introduced. It is being confirmed that we have actress for Bibi, and it is being confirmed that we have actress as well for Nico Robin, Crocodile, Nico Robin and Crocodile. In the manga, they do not show up until much later. If these guys are already in the team, is because they are gonna be in Season 2. Chopper has been revealed as well. The CGI Chopper, it's a little bit bizarre, I have to say, but it's okay. It's okay. I don't think they could have done it better, in the sense of I don't want to see a guy dressed as Chopper. I don't want to see a kid dressed as Chopper. I don't want to see something very weird. I am more interested in seeing how will you call it, a chunky Chopper. That's originally the design from the manga. I love chunky Chopper. I love Chopper from Alabasta in the original story. Now, in my opinion, they made him too cute for what he is. I think like he's embracing the monster point now. He's embracing the like Robin is embracing her demon side, I think Chopper should embrace that as well and stop being that cute. I think in the original story, how is it called? The monster point. The monster point has been toned down. It is tremendously scary in Enies Lobby. And if you see that thing coming to you, like in Enies Lobby, you would be pretty scared. And now, after the time skip, when he got stronger and everything, they made him a little bit cute as well when he's transformed in monster. And I don't like that much, but I guess it is what it is, okay? I'm curious to see... I'm talking about now technicality. I'm curious about to see how it's gonna work. The combination, how these two environments need to blend. Okay, we're gonna have the real environment with the team, the crew, with the CGI environment that in this case is gonna be Chopper. We see some interactions already with creatures, in this case Arlong, for example, and Arlong's crew in some of the latest episodes in the series, in the live action, and this is working, but those guys are not CGI. These are actors in costumes that they are acting. They have full of makeup, very, very extravagant makeup. The character design in the live action for these guys, I don't like it much. It looks very... I could see... I'm a creative person, and I draw, I do my stories, I do my things, and I can see Arlong as it is in the manga or on the anime. I can see in my mind, I can picture right now like you are playing Pokemon Go and you are using the AR option to see the Bulbasaur there in front of you in your room or in your garden. I can see that with Arlong. If I picture Arlong in front of me, like 2.5 meters tall, big guy, like I have touched as well dolphin, real dolphin, so I know how it may be the touch of a giant creature like this. Even if he is a shark, the texture of the skin, well, not skin, the texture of the animal is quite similar. So I would have gone, in this specific case, yes, for a more caricaturesque design for Arlong and for the rest of the guys. I know they went more for the real animal and how the real animal would be in that environment, but I don't think it is appealing for me, okay, as a creative. I would have liked to see more a One Piece design type of characters with the Gyojins, okay? The Gyojins are basically, that environment is like an aqua park, but we can talk about them more in time when I do maybe the second round, and we talk about Sanji as well and everything, because I haven't reached to that point yet in the story again, in this new 4th or 5th rewatch of the series yet, but it's better to talk about it when we have more fresh design. At the moment I am, as I said, halfway through Usopp's saga. They haven't defeated Kuro yet. Kuro's story is very interesting as well. We will talk more in detail in the next episode of this video, but I would say that I would have preferred as well to have more slender or thinner or tall Kurohadol. So there are a lot of movements when Kuro in the manga and in the anime is fighting Luffy that he is like a cat, very stretched and elegant like a cat, like when the cat is stretching and wants to attack as well with the back. That I think this actor, he makes his role very nicely done, but I was expecting something else, okay? And again, this is not a critique against the way of an actor doing this or doing that. This is just my opinion, what I would have liked as a fan for the story, and I guess a lot of people feels like me. I haven't watched or I haven't read any kind of information from people talking about One Piece in general. I've been just minding my own business with my videos here and everything, and maybe people out there is feeling like me with the live action, that they enjoyed it, but there are things that maybe it could have been done in a slightly different way to be more appealing for everyone. And as well, I've done creative projects in the past, many, and I'm conscious that everyone wants to give their own take, as I said at the beginning, in something. Like, even if I am super fan of One Piece, let's say that now Mr. Oda is gonna call me, Oda-san is gonna call me, and he's gonna say, oh, we want you to come and help with the live action. If you want me to go, I will go happily. But obviously, I would suggest some ideas, like if I'm writer, if I'm showrunner, if I'm designing, concepting, if I am reinventing Arlong, for example, and now you go forward, no? We're gonna see Wapol as well. How is La Wapol gonna be looking? I will have some ideas. How is Chopper gonna be looking? I will have some ideas as well. How are the Giants gonna be looking? How is that CGI in Little Garden gonna be? Because we have the actors for those guys as well, so those guys are gonna be in the second season. So I have ideas for all of those things. How could they work? So I am sure anyone that is involved in the story, anyone will give their own ideas to kind of improve the experience of everyone in this case, or even to put your grain of salt there and be able to say, that touch is mine. That is something very beautiful as well when you do a movie or when you see your name, for example, in the credits, let's say. I think the video is almost finished. This is looking very nice. As I said, a little bit of sketching today, a little bit of talking, a little bit of drawing the guys as caricature, like I always do here, and talking through my experience in the story, things that I liked, things that I didn't like much, and things that I would maybe improve in a way or in another way. But yeah, let's see, Nami's turn here as well. In the moment that I'm now in the story, Nami is starting to get nervous because the Dendenmushi that she had, this tiny one, to communicate with Arlong and the rest of the guys has been it's broken now. It's not working, but soon her story is gonna start taking shape as well. I am promoting quite a lot here in the channel that Nami and Emily Roth, I don't know if it is Emily Roth or Emily Root, how it's pronounced, because I don't know the specific surname how it's pronounced, but sorry about that. But she's a hardcore fan of One Piece like me. She's been following One Piece for a very long time. Makenyu as well, as he's a very strong fan of One Piece. He was very excited of doing the role of Zoro. But I think Emily Roth, and sometimes I tag her in my theories and in my videos, because I think if somehow this video reaches to her, I think she's going to be able to enjoy this theory, because after being reading One Piece or watching One Piece for so long, some of us arrive to the same conclusions, okay? Even if you can say, oh, I think about this with Nami, oh, I think about this about Law, about Luffy. Some of us have different takes, but in some scenarios are quite similar. So I think some of my theories, especially the ones involving Nami as a character that I'm going to put here, Nami, I think, Emily, if you're watching this, I think you come from 800 years ago. I think you are blood related to Imu, and I think you are gonna be having the late flashback. The late flashback is gonna be the latest of the latest flashback is gonna be yours, and it's gonna be explaining this connection, because we do not know from where are you coming in reality. as I said at the beginning, I like how Emily is playing the character, how this fighter representation is being portrayed with the actress. I like as well how she is resourceful. She is being shown as the brains, and Luffy is the energy, and Zoro is the strength and the determination, and how these three characters are connecting, very nice. They are being very serious at the moment in those three first episodes because they are not wanting to go together yet, okay? So Nami has her own business. She's like, we are not Nakama, I am just here momentarily. Zoro is kind of more and more starting to believe in Luffy, and that is very nice as well. Let's do just some quick redraw here. Zoro at the beginning was more reluctant, but now slowly he's starting to believe more and more in Luffy blindly. We can see this already in Usopp's saga in the live action, and something at the beginning in the Morgan saga, in the Kobe saga, at the beginning we are not seeing much with Zoro. Zoro is just tagging along. I think this Usopp saga for Nami is the tagging along moment for her in the live action, and soon, as soon as we go into Arlong, we are gonna see how everything evolves. I like that here they are gonna do with Buggy the same like they are doing with Kobe. They are gonna make Buggy be following us all the time. Buggy is a character very important in the main story. Now we are seeing more and more that if you are up to date, you wanna watch this, watch it up to date with the manga. I mean, okay. If you are not up to date, if you are only for live action, do not click on that video, okay, that I put there, because it's gonna give you plenty of spoilers. But what I'm saying is, all this story with Buggy in the live action is gonna be carrying on. If we have 1, 2 seasons, 7 seasons of One Piece going forward, we are gonna be carrying Kobe along, carrying Buggy along. They simplified a lot Buggy's story. I liked Buggy's introduction, I liked Buggy's power, I liked how the CGI, the computer generated imaginary, that is how you see this fake 3D, the effects, basically the effects that you are seeing in the story, that make the story magical. I like Buggy's effects. It looks quite realistic, to be honest. It will trick anyone. The thing is, I think in the original, how they realize that Buggy is having the chop fruit is more shocking. Here, Luffy is in the middle of this circus. Everything happens in this circus, in this tent, and then we see how Luffy punches Buggy, and he basically rips his head off, and the head starts jumping and talking and everything, and then we say, oh, actually he has a fruit as well. In the original story, Luffy is on the rooftop, Zoro is in the rooftop, Nami is there as well, everyone is there, and Zoro shows up to help Luffy because Luffy is trapped, and Zoro basically cuts Buggy into 3 or 4 pieces. Like, he attacks him with the Santo Ryu, with the 3 swords, and he cuts him in pieces. One arm is this way, the body is that way, the bottom is that way, the leg is that way. And then these guys are surprised, are like, okay, this guy actually goes for real. This Zoro is going for real here. This is danger with this guy. And then when Zoro is taking this kind of a small prison or cell that Luffy has been locked, he basically is stabbed from behind on his side, and they see Buggy floating behind him. That is scary. I could see that in a live action moment, and that would be, I think, the peak of Buggy to showcase him as terrifying. okay? They are representing here the concept of clown as a very terrifying concept with Buggy. They made him very scary. They made him very, let's say, radical with all these kidnapping of the people and having them prisoners, watching the shows and making them laugh when they have to laugh, and having them in chains there and everything. They made him very scary. But I think it would have been more impressive for me if we do that moment like Zoro did, like cutting Buggy in a couple of pieces and then seeing him floating with this kind of cloak behind him, like floating like a ghost and kind of expanding behind them, even just showing everything as silhouette and seeing the eyes of the nose or the smile of Buggy like, you are nothing to me, and then we start fighting there. That could have been very good. I am missing as well Richie and the whole concept of Richie here. He's mentioned, but obviously I guess some money has been allocated and they needed to do maybe these expenses with Buggy's performance, with Luffy's stretching, with some other CGI, and they couldn't do this kind of massive, scary lion that is fighting. I don't think it's a main thing, but it is very important with the Shushu story. Shushu as well has been put on the side. I understand that every chapter or every episode is being centered into or focused into one character. At the beginning we have the focus in introducing Luffy, Kobe, Nami and Zoro. That is a lot to be one episode. And then in the second episode we have the introduction of Morgan and the whole story with Morgan plus Buggy. And then in the third episode we have more Buggy, introduction of Kurobi, introduction of Arlong as well, and what's gonna happen later with the Nami story. So it's nice. It's nice. I think I need just for a moment. We finished already, okay, the drawing. I just need for one moment to find my black color. I should just separate my black color, put it on a chain, one of those golden chains, and put it around my neck, because it is every single time I need him. He went to party somewhere. Where are you? I can't find him now. Ah, here it is. Here it is. I just wanted to add some small details here to do just a little bit of shadow here, and that's it. Okay. I will do another update soon relating to One Piece live action, do the other characters, do at least Usopp and Sanji, and talk a little bit about their sagas or their performance as well in the story. And yeah, slowly we can have a couple of videos of this. It doesn't need to be too much, but it can be interesting. If for whatever reason this is liked and you want me to talk more about it and you want me to go episode by episode, what is exactly happening in the episode and what is exactly different from this original story, it can be done as well. Feel free to, to request whatever you want. I am gonna be taking everything in consideration and recording here and making drawings of everything that we want to see. Okay, so there is no problem at all with that. Let's do a little bit of hair here for Nami as well, like this. So far I'm happy with the story. I want to see more. I want to see how the story is going to develop, what is going to be changed and what is going to be kept as well. And I think I need to add just a tiny bit here to make it more like straight like this. Yeah, as I said, I'm curious to see how this is gonna pan. Where are we gonna reach? We should reach in the second season up to Crocodile's introduction at least. I don't think they hired the actor, and I don't think they kind of made all of this advertising around him and these videos around him and talking with Nico Robin just to be the character that is the cliffhanger for season 2 and is just showing up in the last minute and says, ha ha ha. No, I don't think that's going to be the only thing that he's going to be doing. I think as soon as we cross the Grand Line, we may see already Mr. 3, that is Mr. 3 confirmed as well. I think it's David Dalmatian is going to be, I think he's perfect on a spot cast for that Mr. 3 character. I think we will blend a lot of things, and maybe Crocodile moves forward. Maybe Crocodile shows up much earlier in the story, and then he leaves and goes somewhere else. But there needs to be an interaction. I'm very curious about BB. Something I do not like, that if anyone from the One Piece live action is watching this, please listen to this. Do not show me, or do not show us, too many things. I do not want to see the actors giving interviews. I don't want the people sell the skin of the bear before hunting the bear, okay? I love One Piece, and I know, because I already watched the season 1 several times, that this is a success. Just do not give things beforehand, like, I wanna know Roronoa Zoro as Roronoa Zoro, and this is something very important that, in my opinion, it can twist the outcome of the series. If I am knowing everything about Iñaki Godoy in advance, when I am gonna be watching One Piece, it's gonna be a struggle for me to see him, Iñaki Godoy, as a Luffy. But if I am watching Luffy, and then afterwards I learn who is Iñaki Godoy, how is his personality, all these games that you are doing as well with Netflix, that you put the main cast and they do games and they try food after the series is done, yes. So if you are doing all these things, I have tried to avoid a lot of videos with the Nico Robin actress, the Crocodile actor, etc., because the BB actress as well, I want to see them as their characters. I want to believe them. I want to see, okay, this is going to be my BB in the live action. I don't want to see, oh, this guy is from another movie or he's from another series, because that is attachment to the character, and you need to be able to differentiate. This is something very easy to spot when you are a fan of Harry Potter, for example. You have watched the movies first, and you love Harry Potter, you love Daniel Radcliffe, and then you read the books, okay? It is very difficult to separate in your mental image who your Harry Potter from the book is going to be, okay? Because when we read something, we obviously always think ourselves or something similar to ourselves as the main character, but in this case, I'm seeing online so many faces of the actors for Nico Robin, of the actress for Wapol, for the actor for Dorian Broggy. I don't want to see that. They are doing this now in this area of social media to sell the product, to sell the new series, but I don't think it's good. I think we are being given too much information already, and it can mess up the experience when watching the season 2, because we don't see them in character, okay? We are not seeing them in character. I want the cliffhanger of thinking, oh my god, Crocodile, how he's gonna look, how he's gonna do this, or BB, how he's gonna look. But if I'm seeing the actors every now and then on TV, on the computer, on YouTube, talking about this, talking about what they like, talking about what they're gonna do, talking about their experience. Don't talk about your experience yet, because I wanna see the story first, and then give me all this extra content that, if we are thinking old school, you will get all these things when you buy the DVD and you have it as an extra, or when you buy the Netflix movie and you have it as an extra content, okay? That is perfect, and I love it as well, okay? But just be mindful and sell it in another way. Do a mini clip, show me a mini clip, like 30 seconds of BB without showing the face while she's walking on the sand in Arabasta. Show me, I don't know, just a small clip like you showed with Chopper, but with BB, for example, so I see her in context in the story. but just random with plain clothes from the street, even if it is elegant, just sitting in 2 sofas, talking about One Piece. We don't connect yet these faces to One Piece. We do not recognize them yet as One Piece characters. Even if you say, oh, this is gonna be Nico Robin, we haven't seen her in costume, in acting. We don't know how her acting is gonna be for Nico Robin specific. So I will say this for every single one of the characters in One Piece going forward. If someone from One Piece live action is watching this video at some point, keep that in mind, please, because I think it can change a lot the outcome. Because a lot of people can say, ooh, I don't like that guy for Crocodile, I don't like that girl for Bibi, I don't think I'm gonna watch season 2, okay? And that's fighting against the idea of this that is enjoying the One Piece, in my opinion, okay? So I think I finished for now. I'm gonna sign, I think, here in the middle, just in case we wanna do someone else. Probably it's gonna be Sanji here and Usopp here on top, but I don't know. I'm just gonna sign. Yeah, I'm just gonna sign here in the middle, okay? Because I'm not gonna draw anything here in the middle. This is DavidViadel23, DavidViadel23, you can say it as you want, and this is the Mandragon's Cave. I hope you enjoyed this little talk about the One Piece live action, and there are some theories connected to this that I pinged there, so you can check it as well. Feel free to sail through the channel, feel free to send everything to your friends, your nakamas, your family, and like, subscribe, and all these things, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much, bye!